When stress, worry, or anxiety get the best of you, do you wonder how to keep your mind strong no matter what life throws at you? In this video, we'll look into the timeless wisdom of Miyamoto Musashi and find powerful ways to make your mind unbreakable so you can face any task with confidence and clarity. Step 1. Embrace not knowing. Being afraid of not knowing is one of the scariest things about mental health problems. People have taught us that we need solutions to everything. Miyamoto Musashi, on the other hand, shows us that facing uncertainty is a key part of becoming mentally strong. He knew that being closed off in your thoughts could leave you open to harm, while being open to the unknown keeps the mind calm and flexible. Accepting that we might not always be able to control every part of our lives, and that some questions might not have instant answers, is what it means to not know. Musashi himself knew that knowing everything isn't what makes you mentally clear. It's how to move forward without all the answers. When we hold on too tightly to confidence, we put stress on our minds without meaning to. The mind gets stiff, stuck in thoughts it already has, and unwilling to consider new options. Lean into the unknown instead of being afraid of it. Look at it as a chance to learn and get better at dealing with life's problems that don't have a quick answer. This practice can help you let go of the need to be perfect. Don't see doubt as a hole. See it as a place where things can grow. You can move forward even if you don't know everything. When you accept that you don't know something, you can find solutions that you didn't expect. When we're going through hard times in our lives, having the guts to face things we don't know can help us keep going. You must know that there are multiple ways to reach the peak of the mountain. Musashi said one time. This view helps us remember that life isn't a straight line. We learn something new from every task, even if we don't get it right away. Accepting that you don't know what will happen makes your mind stronger because it makes you more flexible and open to new ideas. You learn from every problem in life. They can teach you something. You give your mind the strength to handle anything that comes your way when you accept not knowing as a normal part of growth. Remember that being resilient doesn't mean always having answers. It means keeping going even when you don't. Remain fluid as water. As Musashi says, and one of the best ways to stay strong is to welcome doubt. Step 2. Visualize the worst-case scenario. It may seem counterproductive to think about the worst-case scenario, but Musashi taught us to do this as a powerful mental practice. Instead of focusing on your fears, facing the worst thing that could happen gives you power over your thoughts. It's about getting strong enough to keep going even when things don't go as planned. Musashi, who was very good at getting ready, knew that people who face their fears head-on are the strongest. To put this idea into practice, let yourself think of the worst thing that could happen. For a moment, think about the worst thing that could happen in your position and picture how you would handle it. Musashi tells us that this process is not about giving in to fear, but about getting strong enough mentally to handle anything. When you think about a bad situation, you become less sensitive to the fear that comes with it, which makes it less powerful over you. This exercise helps your mind practice how to handle possible problems, so you can mentally practice being strong in a crisis. When you think about the worst-case scenario, ask yourself, what would I do? In this way, you're making a mental plan for being resilient. You won't be caught off guard by problems. Instead, you'll feel ready because you've already thought about this possibility. It's like how Musashi would get ready for battle. He would think about the possible risks and make sure his mind was ready for anything. Imagining the worst can also help you change your point of view. Most of the time, when we break down the worst-case situation, we find that it's not as bad as we thought. See that which can't be seen with the eye is something that Musashi taught us. He is telling us to get over our fears and look at things clearly. The worst thing that could happen doesn't have to kill us. It could be a chance to learn and grow. This exercise makes your mind stronger because it stops you from being scared all the time. You're not avoiding pain. Instead, you're facing it head-on, which takes away its power over you. If we are ready to face our fears, Musashi's philosophy tells us that they can be some of the best teachers we have. By picturing the worst-case scenario, you strengthen your mind and give yourself the confidence to handle whatever comes your way. Step 3. Develop a daily mental toughness ritual. Musashi was sure that you should train every day. He knew that the best way to build mental strength over time is to stick to good habits. Making mental toughness a daily habit can help you become more resilient. Just like working out your body can help you become stronger, this daily habit doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to push you and remind you of how strong you are. Think about doing things that will make you think and get you out of your comfort zone a little. Some examples of this are taking a cold shower, meditating for a short time, or even just focusing on your breathing for 5 minutes. The key is to be consistent. Musashi worked hard every day to become a master because he thought that discipline was the key to real power. Making a daily routine helps your mind stay strong. This practice helps you believe that you can handle discomfort, which makes you more ready for bigger tasks. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity, Musashi said one time. By making a ritual a part of your routine, you train yourself to see growth possibilities even when things are hard. Mental toughness practices help you remember how strong you are every day. You strengthen your ability to handle pain with each small task you complete. It might not seem like a big deal at first, but over time, it has a huge impact. By pushing yourself on a daily basis, you build a strong mental base that makes you ready to deal with bigger problems. Include this practice in your daily routine as a time to focus on mental strength. Musashi lived a disciplined life, and his teachings tell us that being consistent is the key to long-term success. Once you start doing your ritual every day, you'll notice that you're getting stronger and better able to handle life's unexpected obstacles. Over time, this focused habit builds up into a strong tool that protects your mind. Step 4. Practice selective ignorance. We get a lot of information these days, and a lot of it is useless or bad for our mental health. The idea of selective ignorance fits with Musashi's philosophy of focusing on what really counts. Selective ignorance is when you choose not to deal with certain kinds of knowledge or negative influences that drain your mental energy. Focus was important to Musashi, who reportedly said, "Do nothing that is of no use." Setting limits on your attention is what selective blindness is all about. It's easy to feel mentally worn out in a world full of social media, news updates all the time, and views that never end. Picking what to ignore can free up your minds so you can concentrate on what really counts. You shouldn't avoid important problems, but you should be selective about where you put your time and energy. When you are having mental problems, it is especially helpful to practice selective blindness. Staying away from things that aren't important keeps your mind clear and ready to deal with the issues at hand without getting bogged down by useless knowledge. Musashi said, "Look at every situation as a chance. When you choose to be ignorant, you can see chances that you might have missed otherwise." This idea also works for limiting negative interactions or discussions. Avoid people who drain your energy and spend time with people who make you feel good. Musashi's lessons tell us to pay attention to the things around us. If you choose to avoid bad things, you're not only protecting your mind, you're also making an environment that helps your mind be strong. You can stay focused on your goals and beliefs if you choose to be ignorant. That way of protecting your mind from getting too full of unimportant things is called mental defense. Musashi's teachings tell us to keep our minds clear by focusing only on things that help us grow, give us a purpose, and make us strong. So, selective ignorance isn't just ignoring. It's also picking and choosing what to focus on to make your mind better and more resilient. Step 5. Cultivate a third-person perspective. The thought of detachment is one of Musashi's most important lessons. Taking a third-person view, or seeing things as if you were someone else, can give you a lot of understanding and strength when you're going through a tough mental time. Musashi stressed how important it was to look at things without any bias or feeling. This distance lets you see problems without being too stressed out about them. Imagine stepping outside of yourself and looking at what's going on as if you were giving advice to a friend. What do you mean? What kind of advice would you give? This method helps you look at the problem with kindness and objectivity, which frees you from the emotional weight that often comes with personal problems. Musashi's wise words tell us to be detached from desire, which means to let go of strong feelings that make it hard to make decisions. Seeing things from a different person's point of view can also help you see that the problems you're having don't make you who you are. By seeing yourself as a viewer, you separate who you are from what you. Having a clear head about the problem makes it easier to deal with it. This separation isn't about not caring. It's about finding strength in distance, which makes room for answers to become more clear. This exercise can also help you be kind to yourself. A lot of the time, we are harder on ourselves than we would be on other people. When you step back and look at things from a third-person point of view, you can be as kind and understanding to yourself as you would be to a friend. Musashi knew that being patient and clear with yourself is the best way to keep your mind healthy. Developing this point of view makes your mind stronger and helps you face problems with a calm and balanced mind. Musashi taught us that being far away doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're smart. By doing this, you can make your mind stronger and handle even the hardest situations with power and grace. Step 6. Use a power pose. The way you stand and walk has a big effect on your mind, and having a strong stance can make your mind much stronger. Musashi knew how important stance was because he believed that a person's body directly affects their mind. It might look easy to use a power pose, but it's a powerful method that makes you feel strong and confident, even to your own mind. If you stand tall with your shoulders back and your chest open, this is called a power pose. It tells your brain that you are ready and able. Musashi taught that being present and standing straight are very important in fighting. The way we act and feel affects our confidence and mental state, getting us ready for any task that comes our way. In times of worry or doubt about yourself, take a moment to do a power pose. You could stand with your hands on your hips, take up more room, or just sit up straight. Musashi's advice to be neither narrow nor overbearing is about how to be confident without being too narrow or too strong. This pose sets off a feedback loop in which your body tells your mind that you're ready for anything, which makes your mind stronger. The power pose can be especially helpful before going into a tough situation or talking to someone you don't like. When you take a confident stand, you go into the situation with a stronger mind. Musashi taught us to be calm and resolute, and a strong posture shows that we are following his advice. There is a strong link between mental and physical toughness. Power poses help you feel stronger in your abilities, which will help you face obstacles with a strong and grounded presence. Musashi knew that this simple practice would help them remember how strong they were. Having a strong stance makes your mind and body stronger so you can handle any problems. Step 7. Remember the transience of emotions. Realizing that emotions are temporary is one of Musashi's most important ideas. He believed that mental strength comes from understanding that emotions are temporary. Musashi thought that knowing about change made it possible to handle the ups and downs of life with a calm mind. When you are having mental problems, remember that the feelings you are having will go away. Being aware of this keeps you from getting caught up in strong emotions. When you're having a hard time, tell yourself that feelings are like waves. They come and go. Musashi's wise words show how important it is to accept these natural rhythms. Instead of fighting your feelings, let them run through you and trust that they will go away on their own. This way of thinking keeps you from giving in to fear, sadness, or anger, which keeps your mind strong. Realizing that feelings come and go can also help you feel at peace. Giving in to our thoughts lets us find answers and see things more clearly. Musashi told people to become acquainted with every art. This means that we should study and accept all of life, including our feelings, without fighting them. You can deal with your feelings without having them control you if you think of them as temporary. When you understand this, you can stay calm under pressure because you see each emotional wave as a temporary event rather than a constant state. Musashi's teachings tell us that a steady mind is not one that doesn't feel anything, but one that can handle feeling without being swept away by it. When you know this, you can free your mind from the grip of your emotions. When you accept that your feelings change over time, you can face problems with strength and patience. Musashi's teachings tell us to let our feelings go without holding on to them. This builds a strong, flexible mind that is ready for whatever comes next. When you know this, you can stand strong, knowing that every storm will pass in the end.